Young man, if you are just turning 18 years old, I'm going to share with you right now a very harsh and brutal truth that if you would embrace and accept, it will change your life and put you way further ahead than any other man in your age group right now. I'm also going to show you what you can do to change this truth that I'm going to talk to you about in the video. First, the truth. The truth is, if you are a man and you are just turning 18, the world no longer gives a fuck about you. No longer gives a fuck about you because you don't have any real world value at this point in your life. Now, listen, I understand. Mom loves you, your family loves you, and you're valuable to them. But as far as the world, you have no value whatsoever. You know, as far as men go, you have no real marketable skill. You don't have any real financial stability, no credibility. You don't have a network of men that you can join with to be useful in some type of way. With women, it's kind of the same way at this stage. You don't bring any real value or security or status. Sure, you can deal with the women in your age group now, but you can't compete for the women that you really want because you really don't have any value right now. Most of you are like I was back when I turned 18. I didn't have a clue. I didn't have a clue about any of this stuff that I'm telling you right now. I was too distracted with chasing women, partying, all of the young boy shit that when I look back on now wasn't really adding anything to me, becoming more valuable. I was doing all of that, but what I wasn't doing was really building myself, building value in myself. Again, I'm listening to the people telling me, oh, you're young. Oh, you got time for all of that. Enjoy your life. Live your best life now. I was listening to all that shit. But here's the thing. There were a few people back then that was telling me exactly what I'm about to tell you now. I just ignored them. What they were telling me is that you're a blank slate right now. Sure, you don't have any real value, but you can start building that because you're a blank slate right now. But if you don't start building, you're going to be a blank slate the rest of your life. You're going to blink, you're going to be 30. You're going to blink again, you're going to be 40. And if you don't start building now, you're going to be that blank slate forever. Young man, I bullshitted for the better part of my 20s and then looked up and wondered why, I was broke and I was insecure and all of these other men seemed to be so much further ahead of me. Listen, you don't want to be that guy. So here's some things that you can start doing right now. If you just turned 18, these are some things that you need to start doing immediately to start filling up that slate, right? And become a man that is valuable to this world. To become the type of man that the world has to take notice of you, that the world has to look at you when you walk in a room instead of just ignoring you because you add no value. 4 things that come to mind when I look back when I turned 18, if I would have focused on these things, how much further ahead I would have been in life right now. First thing is find a skill that pays well and master it. Find a skill that pays well and master it. I was really fortunate when I got out of school. I started working construction with my father and I made a lot of money and I learned a lot of skills out there that I just didn't take advantage of mastering, right? I was a general laborer. I could have took that general labor and became a plumber, a carpenter, an electrician, and made way more money than I was making as a general laborer. But I didn't want to master a skill. I just wanted to go to work, make my money, come home, chase pussy, and all of that dumb shit that I was doing. Young man, you have to find something right now. And it's important that you find it now because it is going to take time for you to learn it. It's going to take a lot of time to become good at it. Then you got to master it. That's going to take even more time. More times than many at your age. You're looking for the get-rich-quick schemes. You're looking for the day trading where you can spend $100 and a month later you will be a millionaire. That does not work, young man. By and large, that's bullshit. You have to find something that you enjoy, something that you would be willing to put time and effort into and learn how to become good at it. But again, if you're so distracted by all the bullshit that 18-year-olds are usually distracted with, you'll do that, but you'll do that much later in life. You'll waste the valuable time that you have now to find something to become good at and master. Second thing, young men, is you need to be working, and you need to be working a lot, right? Like I told you guys, I lucked out, got a really good job when I was, 18 and 19, but that's not going to be the case for all of you. So, I was making $20 an hour at that age. If you can't find a job like that, young man, you're going to have to work 2 or 3 of them to get close to that. But you need to be working. You need to be saving money. You need to be getting out of your parents' house. You need to be getting you a car. You need to be saving money so that skill that you want to learn, you can pay for the training. You can pay for courses. You can pay for that. Is not your parents' responsibility anymore. It's yours. So you need to be off your ass working. And again, you know why? If it wasn't for my father making me work like that, young man, I would have just worked out all day and kicked it with chicks, partied, went to the club, and that's all I would have done. I was fortunate that I had a father in the home that wouldn't allow that. But the reality of it is, that is what I would have done. And I would have done that because I had no real plan. I had no real plan for what I was doing with my life. I was just living week to week to week, right? So you need to be working. And you need to be working a lot. We're talking about things that makes you valuable as a man, right? You need to be working. After that, young man, you need to be building the right network of men, the right circle of friends right now. I didn't think about that. All I had back in the day was drinking buddies and kicking it buddies, right? I didn't have those guys that were pushing me to do better, that were pushing me to stop doing dumb shit and get serious about life, right? You need men in your life that is going to build you, not take from you, right? And lastly, man, you need a plan. You need to set some goals. You know, I used to laugh at people when I was younger, when I would hear them talk about they got a 6-month plan and a 5-year plan. I used to think that shit was nerdy as hell, but I understand now that if you don't have anything to aim at, you will hit nothing every time, right? So the idea, man, of now that you're 18, instead of just going through your days and your months and your years aimlessly, just doing what young kids do, no, you got to set some goals. You know what? I want to start this apprenticeship program 6 months from now. You know what? Next month, I at least want to be working 40 hours a week. A year from now, I want to have 5,000 saved in my bank account. You got to have some goals. You got to have something that you're shooting for every day. Because if you don't have that, you'll just be out here aimless and just willy-nilly doing whatever. And I guarantee you, you will not become a valuable man in this world that way. So young man, here's the deal. You don't have any value now if you've just turned 18, but that doesn't mean it has to stay that way. You are intentional and relentless about really building yourself instead of just wasting time out here. By your mid to late 20s, you will have the skills that I was talking about to invest and to do other things where you can get out of your mom and dad's house. You got your own car. You got emergency fund in the bank. Now you'll actually be valuable to women, not because you're chasing them, but because you've established something. You got something of value. You look like a man that got some security, some stability, and some status. So real talk, man, that's what it's going to take. That is what it's going to take to accept this hard truth that you really don't have the value now at 18, but you can build that value. It doesn't have to stay that way. So listen, I can help you simplify that building process all the more. I got a 9-step transformational guide that will walk you through the mindset, the identity shift, the confidence building, everything that it takes to do and build what we just talked about in this video. Link for that is in the description below. Definitely check that out. So listen, now you know what to do to make yourself a more valuable man in this world. Check out this next series of videos that I got that gives you even more tips and strategies on the things that you need to do and the things that you need to avoid to get your life moving in the right direction. All right? So listen, I am the Over 50 Guy / the Online Dad. We'll be back with another one soon.